Hi everybody, it's Thursday again, so that means we're keeping it simple sometimes. Hi and I'm so glad you're back here today. Let's check out last week's layout that we prepared ready for today, and I have already gone ahead and fussy cut out those dream catchers that I had left over on that strip. And if you're not too sure where it is, I will put a link here above and give you an option to go back to that video to check it out. Alright, so I have these two photos here of my daughter and her friend and a cow. They were at the Easter show, and it looks like that her friend is patting the cow, which is okay in itself, but when you see the title, you'll see why I thought it was so funny. My children love the movie Barnyard. They always have from when they were little, and the reason is because of the game that the kids play in it, or the cows and the animals play, cow tipping, ha, and that's what I'm calling this page, because it looks like she's cow tipping. So I'm just going to layer up where those dream catchers are going, and I did cut out the title on some brown cardstock. So I'm calling it Ha Cow Tipping, because as soon as I saw that photo, that was what popped into my head, and I just thought I just have to do that for this, and not meaning anything to any other people but for my kids, and every single one of them, when they've seen it, they've all burst out laughing because it's their favourite part of that movie, and every time they talk about farms and things, they all sing out they're going to go cow tipping. So that's a little bit of the reason behind this layout, so just a little bit of fun. As I said, I've put in the title, and now I'm just going to add in those dream catchers, and pretty much this layout is completed. Nice and simple, really easy, as you can see, and the paper did all the work. I haven't had to do very much at all. 2 photos, the title, and sticking down the dream catchers, which is really, really good when you can put in a layout, and as soon as you see photos, you know which one it's going to go. And honestly, I only took these photos last weekend, so that's how quickly you can get photos to fit your base pages without even knowing. And I didn't even actually take these photos. My daughter did, as you can see, it's a selfie, and so she sent them to me. So that was very, very fortuitous. So here I have got some vellum florals, and they're in the blue that matches their shirts. So I am just tucking those in around the title to finish it off, and that's pretty much the layout, and I just love how that came together, and it looks really, really good. The last thing, of course, in the middle of each of those dream catchers, I'm going to put a little dab of pops of colour, and then I am going to also add them to my little floral clusters, as always, setting up my visual triangle with my pops of colour, and I'm just going to tap them out and make them into the enamel dot appearance, which is so good about pops of colour because it's just so creamy, and I just love it. It's one of the best mixed medias that I use. So down the bottom, just writing who it is and where they are, and that's it, everybody. What a quick, simple layout that turned out to be. I'd love to know if you're playing along. If you are, let me know down in the comments, or you can go over to my Facebook page and pop it in there underneath this photo when it appears in my feed, and I'd love to see what you're creating along when we're doing these, keeping it simple on a Thursday. Right, so nice and close up. Here you go. That dream catcher there popped up, the florals in there with the title. I love all the little details, and as I said, it's very simple. You can all have a go and do something similar. It doesn't have to be the dream catchers. It can be flowers, can be any paper with a pattern. Alright, so now we're getting ready for our next Keeping It Simple, and I have collected together a white cardstock, which is pretty painful for me, as you all know. Even if you don't know, you go watch my other videos. I struggle with white cardstock. Now I'm going to put these scraps all together to create this page. I've had that large red and blue one here. Oh, look at that pretty on the back. I left it for ever floating around, and I've just been moving it from one place to the other, so I thought, nope, I'm going to put it on and we're going to use it this week. So I just trimmed it down to 2 strips, and I've torn down the centre of the leftover, and I've torn down the centre of that one there because I'm going to go for a ripped paper look on this layout. So with those other 2 strips, I've cut them down into squares, which I will somehow put together on this layout. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. I'm just playing with the paper at the moment. I'm taking an inch off because I don't want it all the way to the edge. And I'm going to layer it up with these papers, as you can see. I'm just trying to work it out, and I don't want that straight. That's why I kind of tore it. Let's go for a bit of a crooked look on this one and see what it looks like. So I'm going to put it at an angle, and I've changed my mind. I'm going to put the checkerboard one, or the checked one, or the gingham one to the center, I think, and keep the blue to the outside. And I'm just going to tape that in and tuck it in underneath. And I like that. Look at that. That looks spec. Okay, it looks really good. Now I'm going to do the opposite over here, except you watch, I put it down. I wanted it in the opposite direction, and I put it down in the same direction. And then I get through it and I realise, oh, I've made a mistake. So I'm popping down the blue there, and that's where I'm going to tuck in that the gingham. And I just love it. Look at that, the plaid, whatever you want to call it. And look, then I realised, nope, that's not the direction I wanted that to go. I wanted it to pop out the other way. So I'm just going to lift it, and I'm going to move it and pop it the other way. So now I have the slant happening down the middle. That's what I wanted. So it will be offset down the middle, like so. Can you see? Now that looks better. And I really love the colour palette. It's nice. It's great. And I'm just playing with these pieces, and they may just stay with me, or I may use them to tuck in behind photos. I'm not too sure. I'm just having a play. I do like the blue in there. I think that looks good. And I don't need it to be straight perfect. Look at that. I do like it. And I'm wondering, do I do that? Maybe. I'm not too sure. So have a little bit of a think. Let it sit there while I'm thinking. But then, look, you know me, I can't do white. There's too much white on this page. So I'm going to just tear out the top, and I'll tear out the bottom, and I'll tuck the blue and white in underneath, just as a peekaboo and something extra and a little bit different. And all of this is scrap, people. None of this is new. It's all been hanging around in my scrap bucket for ages. I've just gone through and picked up colours that complement. They're all from different different places. There's not one from the same brand. Oh, except, no, I tell a lie. The blue and white one that I'm working with now, and the red, blue and white gingham, that they are photo play ones. They're left over from a cruise layout I did a long time ago. So this is come together quite nicely. I'm going to trim down there, as you can see, just to get the overhang neat. And I like how this has come together. Look at that. That's beautiful. I'm going to keep that blue and white check there. Probably tuck in behind photos. Maybe cut a title. Not too sure yet. Don't even know what photos will go on this yet. But I like the design. And then, of course, I can't help myself. I just can't cope with those white corners. Sorry, everybody. White and myself and white background. I do love them. Don't get me wrong. I do. And I love looking at people who create with them, and I think it's magic what they do. I just struggle with it. So I'm going to just cut in, and yeah, I'm just going to put in 2 more corners. I just can't do it. Now I can cope with that. That's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's just a personal thing. I don't get it. I don't understand. But anyway, I do like when people use the white backgrounds. I think it's stunning, and I just would love to do it. And the layouts where I do a white background, I am quite happy with them. But it's just getting over that blank when there's so many beautiful pattern papers out there. And seriously, I look at my pattern paper stock and I just think I need to use it up. So I am finishing this one off. Yeah, lots of things went into it, but it's all scrap, people, and it's easy and it's done now and it's ready for next time around. So pull out your scraps, have a go, prepare one, get ready, and let's put it together next Thursday when we keep it simple on a Thursday. So here's today's one up close. Look at that. I love those vellum flowers. Look at the pops of colour in there. That fussy cutting has just added that little bit. The title, it's simple, you can do it. Happy scrapping, everybody. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and I'll see you over at my next video.